Okay, you should be able to hear me now. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes my OBS software, manually or by itself, somehow it switches my output for audio. I don't know why. But hey, welcome back, everyone. It's Ned from Caspio. Happy Monday. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why that happens. It's just, I don't modify the settings myself. It's just OBS does it on its own. I don't know why. Maybe if I do an update, it resets the settings. I'm not really sure why. But anyway, today we're going to look at some simple JS solutions to improve usability around reports and submission forms. And then in the end, I will show you a form that connects to Stripe. I will just say one thing. I know we talked about recurring monthly payments with Stripe. I got as far as connecting my Stripe account to Zapier, but then Zapier asked me to connect my to my bank account, and that's where I stopped. I didn't want to do that by providing the information to Stripe through Zapier and connecting to my bank. So that's where I ended up stopping, but I will show you a form that displays all of the credit card fields. And I think that it's possible. It'll submit the payment, and it'll go to Stripe, and it'll create a subscription for you. And then from Caspio, you should be able to also create a simple cancel link. And then when it updates in that table, it sends the cancellation back to Stripe. But if I ever create a project like this in the future, I will show it to you guys, but I just don't feel comfortable sharing my information with Zapier and Stripe connecting my bank account. I guess you can say I'm a little bit on the paranoid side. All right. Now that you guys can hear me okay, let's begin with today's content. Hopefully you're having a good Monday. Today's live stream won't take too long. I have 3 examples to show you, and the first one that we're going to begin with is a very simple one. We covered off in the previous live streams, we looked at how to change the background color based on the status, but today we're going to look at if the status is open, I want to have a different link showing so that I can edit that record in the details page. And once I edit, let's say we close it and hit update, now it's going to be red, it's closed, and now I can only view that entry as opposed to have the ability to edit. And all the JavaScript is doing, it's actually displaying 2 links here side by side. You just don't see the other one because we're using the JavaScript to hide the other link based on the status. Okay, and you can still accomplish this using the standard method. You could have 2 different data pages, 2 different report data pages, filtering data based on the status field, and then linking to the details page. But it's going to cost you an extra data page, and to me, at least my own personal take on this, it's not as seamless and effective. I mean, it's effective, but it's not as user-friendly for our end user. So how do we accomplish this? So let me go into my account and let's take a look at the data page. I'm going to use both, and we're going to hit next, next, next a few times. And also, don't worry about the script. As always, I'm going to make this available for you guys in the description of the video. At the end of today's session, I'll put it all in the Word document, and you just be able to copy and paste into your own data page. So as I mentioned, if I wasn't using the script, if I just had these 2 links, hopefully everyone understands how to write a basic hyperlink, ahref. All I have here inside of ahref is an ID for both of these 2 links. So one is to view, and this is the ID, view, and then the customer ID. And then we have the edit link, also has an ID called edit with the customer ID. It's just a unique ID applied or assigned to that specific URL or ahref. Okay. So again, if I wasn't using the script on the results page, you'll be able to see those 2 links side by side. Okay, both edit and view. But then with the script, we're basically simply saying that if the status equals to open, I want to hide the view link and only display the edit link. Okay, if it's open. So you can see here, get element by ID, which is the view. So this is the ID. And simply just say style display none. So don't display this link if the status equals open. Okay. And then we have another simple one, get element by ID, again, edit. So now if it's the edit, which is the one that's displayed, we have the parent node twice to go back to the row of the table. If you just do one parent node, it's only going to change the background color of that field. So it's going to change the background color of this one here. And not the entire row, but just this section here, this column. And then we have style background color, and just apply a hex code to apply that background color for edit. And then if it's on the flip side, if its status equals to close, we want to hide the other one. So now I want to hide the edit link. So we get that element by ID, which is edit, display none. And then we have the background color, which is red, down below. Okay, so again, you don't need to later on write this whole thing yourself if you don't want to. I will make it available so you can just copy and paste. And if you need to modify it, you can simply change the output however you want. Okay. Let me know if there are any questions on that. Hopefully you have some ideas on how you can implement this. It's a really nice way to separate the details link that's editable and the details data page that is view only. So everything within the same report, if I redirect now, come back here to edit this one. Let's say we close it. Give it a second. Now everything is view only. But if you have an admin level user, they can go in here. Let me just refresh. You can now see everything is closed. But if I do an inline edit, and let's say I reopen this one as an admin level user, I'll just open up 2 of these. And then on the other side, if you refresh and log in, you will once again see how they're opened. Okay, simple workflow to improve the usability of your report data pages. The next one that we're going to look at is on the submission form. So we have, and by the way, the remaining data page that you see here, we have the one for the admin to change the status, and then we have the edit details and the view details. So this one is read only, and this one is to edit. Okay, very simple. So let's look at this one, the tab index. I found this one very interesting. I've never used it, but I guess I later on found out that it's available in our forum as well. I didn't even know that. But a lot of times when I used to work in sales and I was doing demos for customers, they would ask me, is there a way to change the way you fill in the fields? I want to set my own guidelines in terms of fill order. So if I'm filling in the first field, maybe I want to go to the address field first before I go to the city field. So if you tab, it goes down to the address field, city field, then we have the state, and instead of going to the zip code field, I want to go to county. Oh, I guess I have it going to the zip code field, and then county, and then phone number. So you can set the rules in terms of how you fill out the form, either left to right, top to bottom, which is standard in Caspio. So you can set that if you want left to right or top to bottom. But if you want to customize the way you fill in the fields, we have a simple JS solution that allows you to do that. So in the header section, I mentioned this in the previous live streams. Each one of your fields has a unique ID. Okay, so you get the element by ID, insert record library name. So we have the library name that you can, sorry, I said that incorrectly. You don't actually grab the ID, so you don't need to inspect the element on the web page. Just every single field that you have has its own field name. And then what you need to do is get the element by ID, insert record library name, city. So just copy and paste for all of them, and then tab index, and then you set the order that you want to have. So if you want the library name to be filled out first, set that to 1. Or you can maybe have the next one be, let's say 7, and then this one will be 3. So we'll go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the city, which is the third field, will be filled out last. So if I hit preview and we tab over, you can see how we went to the phone number field, and then you will see how city will be the last one to be filled out. And then in the footer section, you can use a very simple script here, event listener, to change the tab index based on when you tab from one field to another. Okay. So again, I'll make this available for you as well. It's also available in our forum. I had no idea until maybe a few minutes when somebody pointed that out to me. Hey, this is available in our forum as well. I had no idea. So I thought I came out with something that's simple, but it's helpful because I did get that question asked quite a bit in the past. All right, and the last one that we're going to look at, if you're building, let's say, clock in and clock out type applications. So if you're on a mobile device and you have employees who are clocking in and clocking out, I thought this was kind of interesting. Let me look at my form here to show you. So we have the start time where you can click on the button to add the date and time. And then obviously you wouldn't add the end time right away. You might at the end of the day, you're going to add that. And then what it does, it calculates the difference in minutes. So if I change this to maybe 20, we should be able to see 9 as the calculation. So it'll give you the total number of minutes. You hit submit, you're going to get that data stored in your table, and then you know how much you need to pay that employee based on start and end time. And then on the data page side, also, by the way, guys, if you have an idea, if you were thinking about doing something with JavaScript and you'd like to see how that's done, I'm happy to take on the suggestion, and then we can bring that back into the live stream. A lot of times I come up with my own use cases and what I want to bring to the live stream, but if there was something that you were thinking about doing with JS and you weren't sure how it's done, let me know. A few live streams ago, we talked about modal plugin or pop-up, right? Which is a really nice and effective way of storing data into the table without you having to open up a new tab or a new web page. It just pops up on the screen, you hit submit, and it stores that data in the results page. I think that one is probably the most useful one in terms of workflow because everything is on the same page. But yeah, just let me know if there's something you'd like to see. Okay, I'm more than happy to bring it back in the live stream. Let me see my question. How to record the amount of time on a job, how long it takes to print a t-shirt order, start and end time of a job. So yeah, we're looking at that one right now. Start and end time. So we have start time, end time. So if I look at the data page, we create 2 buttons, the ones that you just looked at. So we have input type is a button, on click time in, value start time. And then we have the second button, which is timeout, value end time. So the value that you see is what's written inside the button. And then we have this script down here below to capture the information from both fields and add it. When you click on the start time, it adds that information into that field. So it concatenates the date and time together into the start time, and it concatenates the information into the end time. Okay, and then it just runs the script when you hit submit. But if you look at the calculation end time, so here is I'm using a virtual field, but you could actually have this be a field and store that back in a table if you'd like, but I'm only using it to display the calculation, but it's just a date difference in minutes. So you have the start time, comma, end time, and a date difference to calculate in minutes between those 2 fields, which is the start time and the end time. But again, as I mentioned before, I will make sure I provide all of this for you in a simple downloadable document. So if you want to manipulate the script, you can. And if you'd like to see something else, definitely let me know. So that's all I had for today's simple JS solutions. I don't want to overwhelm you with too much JS, but if it's something that's useful, it could greatly improve the workflow of the applications, let me know. I can make a complicated one as well, and then we can bring it back here in the live stream. And again, we'll talk about it, and I'll provide it for you so you can just copy and paste. And for the final thing that I mentioned with the Zapier and Stripe, so if I successfully connected my Stripe account, that's why you're able to see these credit card fields. So credit card expiration and security code. You can also have the optional PayPal if you want to pay that way. But because I'm using Stripe, we can input that information here. You select the plan that you want to upgrade to, which is kind of common if you're doing a subscription type model. But then if I go to my Zapier account, the idea here is when you submit the form, let's say you submit the credit card information. I want to use Caspia with Stripe. And then when you create the new record, so you can only use the payment gateways on a submission form. You cannot use it on the update form or details page, only on the submission form. So when you add a new record, I want to create the subscription on Stripe. So you try it now. And then we're going to connect to my Caspio account. Continue. The table is Stripe upgrades. Continue. Test trigger. Successful. Continue. And then we sign in with Stripe. Okay, so we're going to just use something like that. Password login. And it's going to now ask me to send me a verification code to my phone. I don't think I have any sensitive information here. I don't mind showing you where I stopped. So let's just take a look. 426950. And then we're going to go in here. Connect. I'm going to put this on this monitor just in case something sensitive comes up that I don't want to display on the live stream. So connect. All right, so once you connect, you will see it's asking me to add my bank to receive the payouts, which is something that you'll have to do. So you select your banking provider, whoever you use, and then you hit continue. And then on the following screen, let me just take a look and see what it's asking for. Yeah, so on the following screen, you will see that it's going to ask you to log into your bank account to connect it, okay? And then when you successfully connect, well, now it's actually pretty cool because if you do submit that form on the Caspio side, the credit card information will be masked. One, it will be masked on the table in your Caspio account. So you could display the credit card information back to your end user on the front end. Just note that it'll be masked. And then in your bank, you'll just start receiving those payments via Stripe. So I don't know if it's a one-way street, meaning that I know that I can create the subscription in Stripe and send those payments to my bank every single month. But what I mean by one-way street is I don't know if I can create a cancel link inside Caspio to allow the customer to cancel that account. But what you could do is you could have a simple submission form to pop up and then, just ask the customer a reason why you want to cancel your account. They hit submit, you'll get notified, and now maybe you can go to your Stripe account and you can manually cancel their account. But at least I'm pretty positive that it'll work with the subscription. So it'll create that on the Stripe, and then every month you'll receive those payments. I just don't know if they'll have the ability to cancel because if I look back inside Zapier here, let's say we go back the other way. New Zap. So we'll use Caspio. And I think that so if I now update to cancel and we look at, hang on one second. This is also very interesting. It wasn't giving me my Stripe table when I searched for it. I had to scroll down to find it. So if I update, let's say I'm a customer, I cancel my account. And I'm just trying to get to show you the action here on Stripe because you can see that with the event, I did not see a way to cancel now with Stripe. So we create the customer, we create the payout, we have to create price, create product, create subscription. I don't know if this will work. Deactivate payment link. I don't know what it does on the Stripe side. I don't know. So maybe one of you, if you're creating the ability to subscribe with Stripe, you can let me know in the future live stream. When you have a new baby, your bank account goes to zero. Yeah, that's why we are with the entrepreneurial mindset trying to figure out a way to bring in some more revenues. We don't have to go all the way down to zero. Yeah. And anyway, I'm not going to get into it because if one day my wife watches this live stream, she's going to get on my case because I'm simple, I don't order too many things for the baby, but I can see the benefit of having all these, strollers and, well, stroller you need, but what I'm talking about is like these other baby items that we never had, as I never had, and I turned out just okay. But you know, babies now, they have so many products that you can purchase for them, you know, toys and whatnot, that I don't know, I'm indifferent when it comes to buying all those items. But you know, if it helps development, you know, who am I to say anything? All I know is that we get an Amazon delivery almost every single day, so 90% of the time it's not from me. But I guess if you see a smile on the baby from all these different products that you use a few times and then end up reselling, I guess it's worth it. But to each their own. Let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully today's live stream was okay. Hopefully it was something that you could apply to your own applications. If not, I'll try to come up with some better examples next time. I thought that at least the edit link and the view link would be helpful. That can be applied to actually many use cases. I know the clock in and clock out is a little bit more specific. So unless you're building a that type of an application, you may not be able to leverage that for anything. But yeah, the Word doc will be the description of this. Yeah, it'll be in the description of the video underneath. Correct. And I'll make that available as soon as, well, not as soon. Give me about an hour to put it all together and I'll make it available for you. Yeah, it'll be available. Correct. Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep the chat open for a few more minutes. I'm going to close the live stream. Thank you so much for attending today's live stream. I hope to see you next Monday as well. Hope you have a good week. And then, yeah, if you have some ideas for topics for future live streams, definitely let me know. I will do my best to bring it into the live stream every Monday. Again, thank you so much. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week. And next week, we'll talk about how to convert an Excel spreadsheet into a workable web application. So going from just a simple spreadsheet offline, importing it, and going through the process of creating workflows, login screen, and how to be within 1 hour, we can create a workable application from a simple spreadsheet. All right, thank you both. Hey, Steven, good to see you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a week. All right, take care, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.